What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's Wise 5 Picks stream. Couple days, I guess one extra day off. It kind of felt like 2 extra days off because we had 3 of our 5 picks back on Friday get rained out. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's. Can you hear an echo in a second? Had the stream up. But yeah, so I guess quick recap from the last stream, which was on the 28th. Only 2 picks actually settled. We had a Reds team total over 2.5, which lost. They went over 10 with runners in scoring position. It's kind of sad when that happens and you lose at 2.5. And we had Casey Mize over 4.5 strikeouts, and that hit pretty easily. So that's the whole recap from the last stream. So a quick, I guess, kind of update on where we're at. So as of today, the Capwise baseball model is now, I think, finally, officially, fully operational. I spent most of the last week implementing bullpens in it. So now there's kind of accurate logic as to when a starting pitcher will get pulled from the game, and then when the bullpen comes in, and all that stuff is kind of properly accounted for in the modeling process. So we have results for that today. They look great. I think that's going to help us on the handicapping side of things as well. Also, Ben, tell us about what you're going to be doing tonight.
Yeah, so I will be live streaming here on Twitch during the NBA playoffs. So just trying to figure out exactly what time that will be at. I know the Nuggets play later in the night, but I think I will probably hop on a little earlier for the first games. Looks like the Celtics start around 6 p.m. Mountain Time, so potentially around then, and then we'll have the 2 later games. So, yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll have some live plays, some props I like, and then we can kind of track them as the games go on live. So, should be a good time.
Yeah, and that'll be only Ben. I will not be there.
Nick will be watching hockey somewhere.
Yes, I will.
Maybe.
So, are you ready to hop into today's picks?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So starting off with our money line, wise pick of the day, we have the Cincinnati Reds at -8 against the Philadelphia Phillies. So Ben, start this one off.
Yeah, for me, this is a play on Sonny Gray. He's been pretty good this season. Also, the Reds offensively at home, I really trust them. You know, we are going up against a tough pitcher here, Nola, but I think at the price, I like the value. I think the Reds at home get the job done today. Yeah, this is one that Nick and I both liked, and we didn't want to overcomplicate things on, and we both were in agreement here. So, like the Reds to win this one tonight.
Yep, I'm in agreement with Ben. So Nola is a really good pitcher, but he has been a little bit shaky recently. So in his last 7 starts, it looks like he's had 2 really good games where he's only given up 1 earned. But in the other 5 games out of his last 7 starts, he's given up at least 3 runs. And I think, like looking at this team total, it's only 7.5. So 3 runs against the starter is really all you're going to need. And yeah, when the Reds get hot, they're hot. That is the absolute truth. They were ice cold for a little while, but looked to be heating up quite a bit. And I think a lot of that coldness was due to just the wind factor in those Wrigley games, compounded with a little bit of bad luck. So I like the Reds to score 4 here for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if they even hit up to 5 or 6. And yeah, I think Sonny Gray is going to do a good job against the Phillies bats. Both pitchers right-handed. Reds definitely have the better lefties in the lineup to take advantage of that.
Yeah, Sonny Gray, really good numbers on the season. The only blaring weakness he has is his exit velocity that he allows, but I think he's been minimizing hard hit balls and contact. So I like the spot today.
Yep. So number 2, our wise game total pick of the day is going to be the over 8.5 in today's game between the Boston Red Sox and the Houston Astros. So Ben, start us off on this one as well.
Yeah, so I was looking at this one, was kind of on the fence, but as I dove in deeper to this, love the number here. The big thing for me is the bullpens. Both bullpens not pitching particularly well, and I believe Luis Garcia, who's starting for the Astros tonight, isn't going to go super deep, and he's been giving up his fair share of runs too, anywhere around 2 to 3 on average. So if we can get 2 to 3 earned from him, with both bullpens being subpar, we really like this number. Richards is a guy who is kind of middle of the pack, but I like the Astros bats at home, and I think this 8.5 number is going to be easy to get to. So we like the value here, and for me, it's for the most part the bullpens.
Yeah, so it's a combination for me of the bullpens, and also I think that both of these starters are kind of overperforming a little bit. So Richards comes into this with a 3.83 ERA, which looks pretty good, but he's giving up a ton of base runners. He's giving up more than a hit per inning, and he's walking a guy pretty much every other inning. And against this Astros team, that's not really a recipe for success. I mean, they don't strike out, so they're going to be putting balls in play. And Richards is already a guy that allows a lot of balls in play, allows a lot of hits. I think that the Astros are going to have success against him, stringing together some hits, scoring some runs. So I think that the Astros will score 3 or 4 on Richards. And then I like the Sox, like Ben said, to score 2 or 3 on Garcia. And then that puts us in a situation where we're at like 7 or 8 runs already. And then we only need 1 or 2 in 3 or 4 innings of work against the bullpens. And both bullpens are pretty cold right now. Let me find some stats. Yeah, in the month of May, Houston's bullpen has a 5.13 ERA. Boston's bullpen has a 4.48 ERA.
Yeah. Simple enough.
Yep. Not overcomplicating anything here. You ready for the team total pick?
I am. Let's hop on into it.
All right. So our wise team total pick of the day is going to be the Colorado Rockies over 4.5 runs at -105 against Dane Dunning and the Texas Rangers. So Ben, why do you like you always like the Rockies, but why do you like them especially today?
I like the Rockies a lot at home because you typically get pretty good value with them because of how they perform on the road. But we've been diving deeper into their splits, and this makes a lot of sense. The Rockies at home, top 10 team offensively. And, to some, maybe that's not too shocking. But if you look at how they perform on the road, I mean, the splits between home and away for them is extremely drastic. And they're back home. They're facing a pitcher who hasn't pitched in Coors, and I think Nick's heard it from me 1,000 times, and you guys probably have heard it 1,000 times from me, but I love this angle. Pitchers making their first appearance in Coors. I'm going to have to break it down at some point, but it's got to be something crazy as far as how they perform against their road averages. Guys seem to struggle. It's a different environment. I think part of it's mental, and Dane Dunning is making that first appearance in Coors. We just need 5 runs here. And, the Rockies bats, again, they're coming off of a road stand where they only averaged around 2 runs a game, but offensively, they're not that bad. Even with Trevor Story out, they got guys who can make contact For example, they have Brendan Rodgers near the bottom of the lineup, who's been making good contact. Top of the lineup, Tapia. Guys can get on base, and I think in cores, that's all you really need is you want to create traffic. So I think this 4.5 is a pretty good play tonight.
Yeah. And for all of the struggles that the Rockies have had on the road, like Ben said, they are a really good team at home offensively. So last 7 games for the Rockies at home, they've gone over 4.5 in 6 of those 7 games, and the only one that they didn't, they ended up on exactly 4. We're looking at in those games an average of like 11 or 12 hits, an average of more than a home run per game, drawing several walks every game. So like Ben said, it's going to be traffic. And Dane Dunning is a guy that I am a fan of, but he is a guy who is prone to giving up traffic. He is another guy who gives up more than a hit per inning. He's a guy, he doesn't walk a ton of guys, 17 walks in 47 innings. But recently, the walk numbers have been increasing for him. He's given up 3 walks in 3 of his last 4 games. So I don't think we don't need home runs. I think the traffic is going to be enough.
Yeah, and J Money, Fuentes too as well. Man, I gotta say, Fuentes was a guy who, if you want to talk about like most improved player over the last month, and I'm saying across the league, Fuentes has to be a candidate. His numbers were absolutely terrible. He was 1 or 2 games away from being sent down, and I think he had the NL Player of the Week award 2 weeks ago. He's been hitting the ball well. So a guy like that, putting him in the lineup is great too. Again, we're just looking for traffic. Like Nick said, we don't need power. This isn't the New York Yankees. We need traffic, and guys like Tapia and such can do that. I like the money line too, but I think we narrowed it down, and we like the team total a little more.
Yep, I agree. So, you ready for our player prop?
Yep.
All right, and this is one that I think is going to be a little unpopular, but I'm okay with that. So we're going to go with Tyler Glasnow under 8.5 strikeouts today against the New York Yankees. So I saw some hype for this pick, potentially on an over 8.5 in the Discord. But Ben and I, we were both a little bit short on player props today as far as potential options are concerned. But for me, this was really the one pick that I had. And for Ben, this is also the one pick that he had as a lean. So we like it quite a bit. And I think that the reason for that is the walks that the Yankees draw. This is the big thing for me. So the Yankees, they do strike out quite a bit. But they also are one of the best teams in the league at prolonging at bats and drawing walks. And what we've seen from Glasnow is that when he can pitch efficiently, he can rack up a lot of strikeouts. So he's had how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games this year with double-digit strikeouts. But he's also had some games where he's had issues with walks. So he's had 3 games this year where he's walked 4 guys, including a game earlier this year against the Yankees. And 2 of those games he finished on 7 and 8 strikeouts. So I think that what we're going to see is, especially now with Stanton back in the lineup for the Yankees, I think that we're going to see a lot of patience. I think we're going to see a lot of contact from the Yankees. And I just think that Glasnow is probably going to finish on 7 or 8, but I think he's going to get pulled before he has that opportunity to go for 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to piggyback off Nick, there definitely is a narrative right now regarding the Yankees. And look, they've struggled, but I don't think they're as bad as everyone is making them out to be. Of course, with big market teams, that naturally happens. Stuff just gets over amplified. And even last game against Rich Hill, Rich Hill was coming off, I think, Nick, 11 or 12 strikeout game?
I think an 11, yeah.
Yeah, and he only had 3. Is that correct?
Yes.
Last game. So I like the spot here. We're not necessarily saying that the Yankees are going to tee off on Glass now, but eight strikeouts or to get to 9, that's quite a bit. And if we can just get that pitch count up here, feeling good about it. It's contrarian play, I would say, not a sexy play, but these tend to be the better plays long term, kind of contrarian angles. So we like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. And Jack, you are in fact correct. One of those two is our nerfy for today. You'll pay the penalty. Good. You better pay the penalty, Larry, for being late. If you're late again, I'm gonna ban you. Just kidding. I would never. So nerfy play today, like Jack guessed, is gonna be no runs first inning in the game between Miami and Toronto, and this one comes in at -110. So Alcantara on the mound for Miami. He's a guy that we've been targeting pretty consistently for nerfies, and for good reason. So fun fact, of all of the guys starting today, aside from David Price, who's only pitched 2 first innings, Alcantara has the lowest first inning ERA on the year. 0.82. He's given up 1 earned run in 11 innings. Only 4 hits against 44 batters. So the Blue Jays are I think the scary half of this nerfy, as far insofar as that they have the bigger home run threats at the top of the lineup. But Alcantara has been solid in the first inning. He's been solid past the first inning too, but he's been especially solid in the first inning. And then on the other side, Robbie Ray is a guy who I love. I've been talking about Robbie Ray pretty much every time he starts. He's also pitching quite well in the first innings. He's given up 3 runs across 9 games in the first inning. I don't know exactly how many of those were like in the same game, but I think he's at like 7 or 8, at least 7 for sure. Maybe even 8 nerfy wins out of 9 starts for him on the year. And the top of the Marlins lineup isn't all that scary.
No, it's not. That was a big thing for me in this one. That's partly why I liked it too. So -110, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
seems like we're catching a little bit of value here.
Yeah, I agree. So there's some other nerfies that are on the board that I think look pretty similar to this one, but are priced in more like the -125, -130 range. So like a game like the one between the White Sox and the Indians, I think, as far as probability-wise, is looking right about the same as this one. But there's no reason to pay the extra 20 cents to grab it.
Mm-hmm. Wait, which one did you just mention? You cut out.
The Chicago Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
and then another
and then
one.
We also liked another one too. Yeah, the Giants.
Yeah, Giants and Angels is another one that's sitting around like -135, -140. That I don't really think looks any different, likelihood-wise, to this one.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So yeah, anything else, Ben?
No. And if you guys are just hopping on, I guess a few things here. First and foremost, proud sponsor of the stream, Bookit Sports, guys. Make sure to give them a download if you haven't already. There's about 25 of you guys in here now. I hope all 25 of you are on the app. It's great. You can find me on there. I've been using it, Nick, more as like a place just to talk about a game that I have money on.
Yeah,
just
it's like,
because I used to do that with Twitter, but it's kind of like, it's lost in the shuffle. So now I've been able to get more interaction, engagement, and yesterday. If you were following me, I was going off of the Yankees. I was hit the ball over the damn fence, not to the warning track.
Yeah, they had what, 3 warning track shots?
Yeah, and one of them was it's like try to play a game like the softball rules where you can't hit a home run.
Mm-hmm.
It's an out, but man, Judge hit one right to the warning track. Anyways, I was letting my feelings and I was ratting on there, but it's a great place to find other bettors and just a great atmosphere. So make sure to download that. And if you just joined us recently here, tonight I will be doing a live stream on Twitch for the NBA playoffs. I'll probably hop on around 5:45, 6 Mountain Time. I'll have props in every game because I actually like props at least one in each game tonight. So we'll have props and then maybe some live bets too. I've been pretty good with the live betting in the NBA playoffs. So join me. Nick will be just on standby just in case something goes up in flames, but it will be just me. So make sure to join the chat so I'm not just talking to myself the whole time.
Yeah. And one other thing is, for everybody who did not hear earlier, the Capwise MLB model is now finally, actually good to go. So we've implemented bullpen logic. So kind of based on what's happened in the game so far, how likely is it that the starter's going to get pulled from the game? And then once the starter is ready to get pulled from the game, take him out, throw in the bullpen, tabulate the stats correctly for each of those guys, and then obviously that impacts how likely each of the actual events are as well. So all that stuff is good to go. I have Sims for Today done. Going to start throwing them up on the Google Sheet that we have available for our capwise.com subscribers. And I'll make a post about that in our Discord as well.
Yeah, so we're pretty close to getting some of the data on the dashboard too, but stay tuned. And
also, yeah,
I'm
so
excited
Ben, are we ready to actually push that stuff, or were you able to try yet?
I haven't tried yet, but it should be 100% by Friday because I don't think we'll have any issues. So
Okay.
Looking forward to it. I'm excited to see that.
I am as well. Also, so the Capwise subscribers, you can expect a couple more picks in addition to the Wise 5 to show up on as dashboard only plays.
Yeah,
I think my favorite pick out of everything today is one of those. It's just a run line pick.
I have a juicy money line. When I say juicy, would you say, Nick, it's pretty juicy?
It is. It's like full of pulp. It's like orange juice, maximum pulp.
Extra. I used to hate pulp in my orange juice.
I love it. It's the way to go.
That's all I drink.
Yeah, I mean once you go.
So
once you go pulp,
I'm updating all that like literally as we speak here, so that should be up shortly. And yeah, join me tonight. I'll have So I think what I'll do, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give out a few of the props for the later games because those are the ones I like the most. So,
okay,
people will have to naturally just tune in to get the props. So, that makes sense. But yeah, just make sure you're following us here. You'll get the notification. I'll probably let the Discord know too. But yeah, hopefully the Nuggets can get it done too.
that would be nice.
Would be nice. It's been a zigzag series. Blazers, Nuggets, Blazers, Nuggets, Blazers.
Nuggets.
Maybe I said that too many times, but basically, if you bet on who lost the previous game, you're doing pretty well.
You're undefeated.
Yeah, let's see if that continues tonight.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up this stream. Thank you all, as always, for being here. We appreciate that very much. And we will be back same time, same place tomorrow. When I say same time, it might might be more like 11:15 or 11:30. We're trying to start at 11. We were a little bit late today. There was a couple logistical things we had to do, like one-off things behind the scenes today. But I think 11 is going to be the time from now on, like actually 11.
Yeah, it's taken us a little longer now that we have some model data that we can take into consideration, and now we're, you know, evaluating and using that to the best of our ability. So bear with us.
Yep. But as always, good luck with the bets, and we'll see you all next time.
All righty, guys. See you later.